Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Dawn Melanie. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of my series titled Managing Self, where I'll share with you, the listeners, how I manage myself, manage myself living with multiple sclerosis, or MS, for the past 20 years and counting. Some of the elements that I consider key in my successful management of my battle with multiple sclerosis include fitness, living a healthy, fit lifestyle, having fun. I have many doctor's appointments, like I'm sure many of you out there listening do as well, but I try to have some fun at least every day. And it's usually accompanied or occurs with friends and my family. So I try to eat well, I try to work out, have fun, spend time with my friends and family, but also have a very strong faith in God, and that He's the ultimate healer or the ultimate solution to the MS. So I don't let the negatives weigh me down. I always try to look at the positive side of life. I look at my glasses half full, never half empty, and I know that with persistence and dedication to achieving my goals, I'll achieve them, although it may be a little bit longer, and sometimes may not be the exact goal that I set out for. It may be a modification. I'm sure you all are familiar with being flexible to get through the day, and especially with MS and other chronic illnesses as well. Just the fact that we've had to change so much of our lifestyles, we've had to. I know that I've had to find alternatives of things that, even things that I consider pretty a considerable factor in my lifestyle. I've had to make adjustments and changes like that. But again, like I said, this is what I've been doing for the past 20 plus years, dealing with multiple sclerosis. Many listeners today, you've probably heard the quotes. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. I've heard it several times when I was younger, never really knew what it meant or really thought about it. But as I'm older today, I have a pretty good grasp of what it means. That quote means, or shall I say, refers pretty directly to the theme of deceit. Refers to the implications of deceit. When one begins to deceive others, it's kind of like they're using a spider web. The spider web metaphor implies that lies are just like that, like a spider web, very intricate. It can get very intricate. And once the web is spun, for the configuration of the spider web, once a lie is told, it multiplies a lot. I know whenever I see a spider web, I go the other way. Try not to get too close to that sort of thing. I guess it's kind of like deceit, but if you think about how a spider web looks, all the intricate little traps that are available to catch the insects that the spider web intends on catching, it's a lot. It's a lot of work that goes into that. A lot of effort. A lot of effort. And back to the quote. If you think, I'll read it again. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. So what I'm going for here is the spider web made by a spider, all the traps in there to catch the insects. That's his intention and his purpose. But unfortunately, some individuals, humans that is, when they lie and deceive others, the multitude, the exponential multiplication of the lies, greater and greater number and in quality, or not quality, because I don't think it's quality at all, but the grandeur of the lies and the increased number of the lies, it gets so tangled. Sometimes, just like the spider web. Spider web is pretty. This is what he does, but humans often do this. Telling these lies, and they actually become trapped by their own deceit and their own lies, and that's kind of cool. Not cool, but it's kind of interesting to think of it like that. The comparison of what some call a simple lie, or simple not truth, or kind of not the whole story. Once it builds up and builds up, it just literally becomes out of control. This quotation, which is commonly thought to come from Shakespeare, comes from from Shakespeare's Macbeth. It's actually from a poem by Walter Scott. It seems to me simply that small lies or deceptions can soon lead us to all sorts of supporting lies, over and over again, to the point where we're actually in a maze of deceit, and almost we don't even know ourselves. We literally, if one lies over and over again, it comes to a point where that person doesn't even know him or herself. That is, they don't know the truth, what it even is. Most of us out there, we can recall pretty instantaneously at least one or two or three or four situations, from childhood. Actually, we probably came from adulthood as well, but I'll just speak about childhood, and we're pretty. I think it's easier to recollect on that, so we don't have any ramifications of admission of anything we don't want to. But from childhood, I know many of us who tried to cover things up from time to time. Brothers and sisters. I had a brother. I was the youngest of four, so my older brother and sister kind of pulled fast ones over on me all the time, but they would try to cover something up. My brother and I, to keep my mom from knowing about it, like spilling the gold paint on a brown carpet. That was kind of silly that we could hide that, but one lie led to another, and at the time we're like, oh, well, it's just a little untruth. But Mom, of course, she found out that we weren't telling the truth. I mean, she knew that gold paint just wouldn't mysteriously or magically appear on her carpet. So, here we are, two kids. I think I was about 6 or 7. My brother's like maybe 13, and we're like making all these stupid lies like kids do, and we found ourselves having to make up more and more untruths to quote unquote support the very first white lie. No, I don't know that. We're in the backyard playing, or oh yeah, maybe I tripped on something and that's off of my foot from the backyard that Daddy had paint or something like that. So one little lie led to more and more and more, and it wasn't long before we were confused our darn selves, and Mom found out, and we got whoopings. That's whoopings. We got our tails beat. So continues the tangled web metaphor, which refers to the act of the spider spinning its geometrical home, its web, and if it becomes tangled to the point where the points don't intersect as they should to form the strengthened barrier, or shall I say trap for insects, the web will essentially become a mangled mess. It'll be useless, and it won't achieve its goal, that is to catch it's a predator trying to catch its prey, so it won't achieve the goal. It'll just be a mangled mess. Pretty much like the act of keeping up with one's own dishonesties. You may say, well, how's that like MS? I said, well, the doctor diagnosed me with MS March 1999. After 6 months, I had been experiencing complications. And I could have been like, oh, no, okay, I'm good. I only fell once, or no, I don't. My hands isn't shaking that much. Happened only 2 times, or my speech is fine. There's no stuttering at all here. I'm eloquently presenting speeches at work, no problem at all. But what about when? Oh well, I think my throat was sore, or I had hiccups. If I keep telling lies like that, well, it probably would have delayed the prognosis of my, or diagnosis rather, of my MS. So those lies are a tangled web, and when one neurologist may ask this and get information or different information from another medical attendee, and I wouldn't have gotten a very good point of moving forward and knowing what to tackle. Like I said, that was almost 19 and a half years ago when I was diagnosed, but I've been dealing with MS for over 20 years. So my point is, tangled webs, kind of like MS, and like I said, managing myself, I try to be honest and address things clearly so that I don't have to remember several stories with my MS, which I'm sure many of you agree our memories aren't the best. So my mom always taught me, just go with the truth. It's easier to remember. That way there's only one version. So today, there's 18 days remaining in the year. That is calendar year 2018. And 12 days till Christmas. 12th day of Christmas. No. But there's 12 days till Christmas, December 25th. I feel like I'm walking through several tangled spider webs. I guess I'd say in general. Well, let's just say in life. Several tangled spider webs. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I've said it before. You guys have heard me. I sound like a broken record, I'm sure. But I've said, if you don't like the current situation, you can either change, or you can either remain and do nothing. Or you can make an earnest effort to change the situation to the best of your abilities. Don't go claiming, but I'm disabled. I don't want to hear that. To the best of your abilities. We all have abilities. They're different than others. Mine are different than yours. And that's all we need to focus on is abilities. That's all I focus on, and I encourage you all to only focus on your abilities. Let's not use excuses for why we can't do something. Anyway, as I was saying, if there's an unfavorable situation that you aren't liking, don't do anything or do something. But whatever you choose, remember that you made the choice. And I doubt that you were under any duress when you made the choice. No gun pointed to your head. You make the choice, not under duress. I'm sure that's 99.9% of the times. Remember that you have the power over your mind, not outside events. You control your mind. I don't care what the outside events are. I don't care what some politician is saying, what baby he's kissing, what schmear political ad he's paid to advertise on television, he or she paid to advertise on television. I don't care how many times it's run across your screen, across your computer screen, across your feed, to this or that. It doesn't matter. You control your mind, and you make your decisions. Marcus Aurelius said, I like this quote here. Marcus Aurelius said, realize this. Pardon me. He said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now, there is I guess we could say, one physical, quote-unquote, spider web, which I'm speaking of today. And that's a buildup, or let's just say a conglomeration of my stuff. My stuff, MS. Get it? MS, my stuff. This stuff includes books, magazines, clothes, shoes, electronics, some operable, some out of date, that need to be discarded because they don't even make the product or the adapters anymore. Let's see, probably my stuff that I talk of, probably there's included enough office supplies to equip a modest, I'd say, a temp agency. Maybe, who knows, maybe I will one day have a temp agency. I don't know. No. I need to get rid of this stuff, right? Okay. I have everything I need pretty much to record calls. Now, there's a physical spider web of which I speak, and that more or less pertains to I'd say a buildup or conglomeration or just a bunch of junk or my stuff. MS, my stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I have failed to organize in a productive manner and or discarded in a efficient, productive manner. It includes books, magazines, clothing, shoes, a lot of out-of-date electronics, and enough office supplies to start up a temp agency of some sort. I literally have everything to actually do the books of a company, literally, or even record calls, take notes, journalize things like that. Probably could go toe to toe with any court stenographer, well, at least of the 50s, I'd say. So before I start tackle my stuff, the first step I had to employ was to make a visualization of my end goal. Like I believe in starting with this, Stephen Covey, start with the end in mind. So I had to visualize, how organized I wanted my office to look. Well, my office and other rooms. Because the stuff I'm talking about is in my home office, my bedroom closet, which is the master bedroom closet, my office closet, and and the guest room closet, as well as the shelving and storage units in each of these said rooms. I know a lot of closet space, or a lot of closet utility is by me. As my mom would say, it's time to clean house. And I think I'm at that point right now. It's time to clean house. I never forget her coming through the house, telling us in a very loud voice and strongly encouraging us to, I don't want no one coming over to the house and seeing y'all's junk. Throw it out throughout the house. Put it in your bedrooms. Get it out of here. Pretty straightforward. And that was easy enough for me to do because, actually I remember, I still do a lot of times, but as a kid I kept the original boxes in the packing for each toy I had received. So my organization was a little, I'd say, advanced for a 7-year-old. But the thing is, I like the way that it looked. I had been, I still do, most of my master bedroom closet has retail store presentation. That's just how I did it when I was a kid. I lined up all the candies in alphabetical order, things like that. Order. Same as then as now. It allowed me to. It was funny. Back then, it allowed me to determine if I had any toys missing, and if so, I knew who the culprit was. The one and only culprit could be. That was my big brother, Stevie. So, that was pretty useful for kind of organizing my quote unquote life then, what was important to me, and now, like my closet, some people think it's a little odd, but I believe it makes sense to put jeans in alphabetical order because different brands. Also, colors of the rainbow. My pants are sorted, as well as different types of shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, prints, solid colors, V-necks, different things like that. But it makes it easier. Just like when I knew what toys were missing, I could tell. Today I can tell which what hangers are where after the wash is done. When I put the clothes back, it makes it easier to put things back into order. So as I'm cleaning house today, I realized that there's pretty much just two decisions that I have to face. And that is, keep it, that is the item. Do I want to keep the item, or do I want to discard it? Get rid of it, throw it away in the trash, chunk it. It's pretty easy because I'm kind of using the mindset of, well, you probably haven't seen that in 10, 15 years more, or even thought about it. So if it doesn't spark joy immediately when I see it, I probably can let it go. It probably won't hurt my feelings, or I won't feel too sad about it being gone. So that's one way to kind of help me speed along the process, not delay making that decision, because the longer I drag my feet in to make a decision, the slower I'm going to get to my goal, if ever at all. People may say, well, what's the big deal? Or why is it so hard for you to keep or discard something? Easier said than done, but I think it's so similar to life in general, because there's really only two reasons why, or the reasons why we keep anything is there's two reasons. Either we have some sort of an attachment to the past, that is, that item was something from the past, or reminds us of that, and we don't want to let it go. Even though we have the transient, or shall I say the memory, we don't want to let that physical item go, for whatever reasons. The other reason why we would consider keeping something around is because we're thinking about our future. We're thinking of, hey, this may make my future a little bit easier. Some people may say it's more stable, in regards to in hopes of having a more stable future. I know myself with MS, I hadn't used a cane in, I don't know how many years now. I want to say over 8 years. Or wait a second to that. Well, no, pardon me. Over 6 years. I hadn't used a cane over 6 years on an inconsistent basis. And I still keep 2 canes around the house. I think I was up to 7 or 8 canes. I gave most of them to my mom to use, and I do keep 2 canes around the house just in case I have a relapse, or I have just anything that I'll need a cane for. Thinking about my future. So things like that, kind of a slam dunk of, well, I'm going to keep that because, well, I still have MS, and even though I look so good right now, I might not look so good or feel even less good, shall I say, in the future, whether it be the upcoming future or in the distant future. So just working here in my office, it's been amazing how much stuff I've thrown away. And I'm glad, because it makes me understand that I can do this quickly, and not lollygag and go, well, I'm not sure about keeping this or keeping that, but go ahead and do it. Don't make excuses to delay making decisions and moving forward, because I could sit on the fence all day. That's not going to get me to either side anytime soon. All the trash that I've picked up in here and collected and set out, I feel great. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get rid of that, but when I do get rid of it, it's okay. I feel fine. There's no adverse effects. I don't miss anything. I'm like, oh, I wish I had that planner from 1997. Really? I don't think so. So it's okay to kind of think about that, but be honest with yourself, and don't make excuses, and get rid of anything that's not going to move you forward, and stuff that's going to declutter your life. We don't need a bunch of junk in our lives that's not streamlined, and it's only going to be stressful. Something to think about that we don't need to think about. Like I said, I kept my I keep a couple of walking canes around the house just in case. But for the bigger issues, yeah, there's issues bigger than walking canes, but for big issues, I've realized that any problem that's caused by, well, let's say I don't have I don't have a certain shoe color to match my my jacket for the day. It sounds like I have a lack of something. That's pretty basic. Lack of something, and some people may view this as a problem. Well, there's an action. I can go purchase a matching color coordinated pair of sneakers, or I can just wear my black, which I think goes with everything. Either way, if I'm going to solve that problem, I need to do something about it. I need to take action. Take action doing nothing, sitting on my butt, or take action by physically doing something, an honest effort. Once I decide what to discard, I've already changed my mindset. And that's how I consider my mindset has changed the past week since I've started my big project of cleaning up my office area and other areas like that in the house. I've changed my mindset. With MS, I'm starting a medication next month in about a month. I haven't been on any MS disease-fighting medication, disease-modifying therapy in over 2 months, 2.5 months. But I'm starting one, I guess, in a month or so. That's me changing my mindset. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to wait. So I've already set my appointments and I'm ready to go. I'm going to do that with everything. MS is just one element of my life, but cleaning house is not going to happen just today. Not for me. Not something I did last week. Not something I'm just doing today. Not something I'm just going to do next month. Because managing myself, managing my MS, cleaning house, keeping things in order, cleaning house. This is all continuous processes of making decisions and dealing with them. Make a decision based on our own values, the parameters that we set for ourselves. For this week's challenge, I want you all to think about any webs you believe you may be stuck in. Don't make excuses. Don't make excuses at all about why you're stuck. Instead, make an effort to change it. Do something about it. If not, you like being where you are. This has been Dawn Melanie, and I do thank you for listening and joining me with me today. I do hope that you'll all take some of the ideas I've shared with you into consideration, employ them if you feel appropriate, and in the meantime, for the next week, hope you have a blessed one, and will join me next week for another episode of Managing Self. Thank you, and have a blessed week.